When we fight, get on each other's nerves.
When you said you'd make time for us, you and me on a date night just to catch up.
But hold up, baby. Remember when I text you, telling you we'll go soon? I never ignored you.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I blame it on you, and you blame it on me.
You see what I'm saying? This ain't
Stop. Will you listen to me?
Wait a minute, I need you to hear me out now. I got a lot on my plate. Give me some slack. I know I need to work on that. I don't want things to be this way. Baby, this has got to stop.
That's why I'm expressing to you how I feel. But I don't want to fight with you, baby. But I just gotta be real with you. I was
that's why I'm trying to talk to you.
Talk to me.
I can't stand when we don't get along.
What do we do?
What do we do, baby? 'Cause it's stressing me out.
Tell me what to do.
Just
tell me what to say.
Dream fantasy, go crazy. So if you're bringing it, so if you're bringing the baseline, but if you know I'm in a waste of time. Alright, are you ready? You know it's action time when the real OG pull up. It's about that time I come your way. I wanna see what's up, what's up. You know it's showtime when the real OG pull up. Are you ready or not? Are you ready or not? Are you ready or not for me?
Hey, Israel, listen up. Start settling down. 5 minutes. All right, everybody should be taking their seats, men and women. All right?
You can have anything you want, I guarantee. I really wanna see you. You know my love is real, real. You always keep it real with me. You always hold me down. Yeah, through the thick and thin, you still with me. You know my love is real. You always keep it real with me. You always hold me down. Yeah, and I just got one question. Are you ready? Or what? You know it's action time when a real OG pull up. It's about that time I come your way. Wanna see what's up, what's up. You know it's showtime when the real OG pull up. Are you ready or not? Are you ready or not? Are you ready or not for me? Are you ready or not? Are you ready or not? Are you ready or not for me?
Moi t'es content, nous t'habites ensemble jusqu'à la fin là. Mais qu'on y était mon prêt, tout pas comprendre l'amour ça. Parce qu'on grandit sans maman, sans papa. Ça va bien tout pas ta vie, non maman. Moi pas ta vie, non papa. Pour nous faire mon foyer, les petits moun n'a qu'à côté. Pas de raison pour dire que où aller. Parce que si où aller, allez pas retourner. One more chance, you better choose me. Can't get up my mind what it's gonna be. We can be together unless we agree. Show you my love, but you never believe. My love, never gonna change my love. How you gonna play these games and claim my love? How you gonna say my love? If we was a thing from the very beginning.
Oh, what? You know it's action time when a real OG pull up. It's about that time I come your way. I wanna see what's up. What's up? You know it's showtime when a real OG pull up. Are you ready or not? Are you ready or not? Are you ready or not for me? Are you ready or not? Are you ready or not? Are you ready or not for me?
Chosen not forsake my love. Ready up behind, I pull you up. What a spirit nobody can touch. My blessing, I go get that enough. My love, I will provide for you. My love, you know my love is true. Chosen not forsake my love. Ready up behind, I pull you up. What a spirit nobody can touch. My blessing, I go get that enough. My love, I will provide for you.
Turn me mic up so me don't have to say it again. A little louder. A little bit more. Yeah. Let me talk to my king. I need you. No matter what we go through. Ooh, I'm lost without you, yeah. Don't want no one but you. We go through changes, but that's okay. I still choose you every single day. For what I love about our love, we never give up, no. Because I care for you. I'm still in love with you. I'm still in love. So good for me. Anyone I need and more, 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 and more.
I am so in love with you. Don't want nobody else. Nobody. With everything that we've been through, we're still standing. You beautiful smile, baby. Beautiful smile. Your confidence. Oh, the way that we bond, baby, makes it obvious. Come on. I care for you. I'm still in love with you. I'm still in love with you. Good for me. Good for me. And more, and more, and more, and more. Israel, get to your seats. Get to your seats. Get to your seats. You're good for me.
On your feet, Israel. Israel, bishop on deck, hand salute. Salute, down.
Yeah, we straight. Yeah, yep. Straightforward, straightforward. Yeah. I've been blowing the trumpet. Ready? Men of Israel, blow trumpet. Trumpets down. Holy Father, God of heaven, the creation of the universe, have mercy upon us, Lord. Have your compassion. Have your spirit of compassion upon us. Cleanse us, Lord, from all our wickedness, from all our sin. Lord, rest upon us the spirit of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Put that wisdom inside Bishop for the class you're about to have, and continue. Bless us with this classic class. Lord, we thank you. We thank you so much for giving us the opportunity in your holy Sabbath day for us to come together and unify. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, let the whole congregation say hallelujah. 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 In your name, Jesus Christ, we thank you. We glorified you. As we continue, go ahead, Father. Send your spirit to guide us and protect us throughout the way. And bless us, Lord. Let everything, every door that's open to us, let it be a blessed door. As we travel throughout the earth, bringing this gospel, guide us and protect us. In your Son's name, we thank you. We glorify you. Amen. Amen.
Men of Israel, sons of God, patient saints, sons of God, hand salute. Most High Christ bless. Salute down. Face sisters. To the mothers, daughters, sisters of Israel, we say shalom. Most High Christ bless.
Seated, everybody. Let's be seated. I see Deacon Ithon is late as usual. Hey, security, Deacon Ithon, come send him home. Go right back to Philly. Late brothers. I'm joking. Lateness, I can't stand it. Oh, boy. Hey, remember on, where was we at? Deacon Ithon was late in men's conference, and Bishop and I made Deacon Ithon sit in a baby chair? Yeah. That thing was funny.
Oh, maybe we're doing it tonight too, Bishop.
Yeah, we need a baby chair for Deacon Ithon.
Yeah.
As tall as he is, a little chair for a 5-year-old. That was funny. He was mad as hell. That's why the videos you see Deacon Ithon with a face when we doing the march, because he was still mad. All right, today we're going to talk. What's today's class topic? Let me see. I forgot. Huh? Death and hell. Death and hell. A pale horse, death and hell. Let's open it with 2nd Esdras. Bishop. What's the little brother's name? The little brother. Oh, Deacon Joshua. Deacon Joshua. He had a great class. I was watching it. It was excellent.
Yeah.
And if y'all didn't see it, I'd advise you all to look at it. He's going over grudges, bitterness. It was excellent. We should all definitely take it in, take stock of ourselves. I know we like these prophecy classes, but we'll never get through the prophecies if we don't understand the basic scriptures that go into grudges, bitterness, and how to overcome. We like those walking with the giants classes and all that, but classes that talk about us, we don't like it and we don't like to apply it. But it's very, very necessary to get through these last days. Get 2nd Ezra chapter 4. Who's reading for me? Not
Officer Joseph.
Who?
Officer Joseph.
Okay.
Joseph?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There we go.
What's all those empty seats there next to him? Oh. It's been a while. I gotta get used to New York again. I see sisters here who I've never met. I'd like to meet some of them. Brothers I've never met. I'd like to meet some of them. Oh, little Eli's in the back, looking away in the back. Eli, stand up. Let me look at you. Oh, this guy been with us for years, little Eli. I'll tell you, bro. You better get yourself together and move to Arizona.
That's right.
I'll tell you, Eli. Him and his brother, Issachar. I don't know if y'all know Officer Issachar. That's his big brother. Oh, yeah, you reading for me. 2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 1, please.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 4, verse 1. And the angel that was sent unto me.
Wait, Eli, sit over here. Why you? Oh, no, he's wearing black for a reason. Why wearing black?
Yeah, no rank.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, but he can still come a little forward, man. Why you hit the other back? Come a little forward with it.
All right, I don't want to mess nothing up.
No, he's...
You partial.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why your brother's sitting in the back where you're being addressing, but he'll come forward so brother can see your guys, man.
Yeah, y'all know I can't see. I have blind. Officer Joseph is your name?
Yes, sir.
All right, 2nd Ezra chapter 4. Let's start at verse 1.
Yes, sir. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 4, verse 1. And the angel that was sent unto me, whose name was Uriel, gave me an answer.
So Esdras was asking a multitude of questions. There's a feedback and echo in my mic. So Esdras was asking a lot of questions, and Uriel, the archangel, was sent to him to answer. Read.
And said, Thy heart has gone too far in this world, and thinkest thou to comprehend the way of the Most High? Then said I, Yea, my Lord. And he answered me and said, I am sent to show thee 3 ways, and to set forth 3 similitudes before thee, whereof, if thou canst declare me one, I will show thee also the way that thou desirest to see, and I shall show thee from whence the wicked heart cometh.
So he said, I'm going to declare 3 things to you. If you can explain these 3 things, break it down for me, I'm going to explain what you desire to know and from where the wicked heart comes from. Go ahead.
And I said, tell on, my Lord. Then said he unto me, go thy way, weigh me the weight of the fire.
So he said, weigh me the weight of a fire. And in case y'all didn't know it, fire is spirit. You cannot weigh fire. Go ahead. Well, at least mankind can't weigh it. Go ahead.
Or measure me the blast of the wind.
Or measure me the blast of the wind. Go ahead.
Or call me again the day that is past.
Bring back yesterday. Can you bring back yesterday? Read.
Then answered I and said, what man is able to do that thou shouldest ask me such things of me? And he said unto me, if I should ask thee how great dwellings are in the midst of the sea, or how many springs are in the beginning of the deep.
Wait. Which mic is it? Is it this one?
Officer Gabriel, what's going on with the mic?
We all right now? All right. Where was you at, Officer Joseph?
Verse 7, sir.
Read 7 again.
Yes, sir. And he said unto me, if I should ask thee how great dwellings are in the midst of the sea, or how many springs are in the beginning of the deep, or how many springs are above the firmament, or which are the outgoings of paradise. Peradventure, thou wouldest say unto me.
Wait. Read 7 again. I'm just distracted with that noise. Read 7 again.
Yes, sir. And he said unto me, if I should ask thee how great dwellings are in the midst of the sea.
How great dwellings are in the midst of the sea, the ocean? Go ahead.
Or how many springs are in the beginning of the deep?
Or how many springs are in the beginning of the deep, meaning where does the water come from? Go ahead.
Or how many springs are above the firmament?
How many springs are in space? From where space comes from. Go ahead.
Or which are the outgoings of paradise?
Now you see that part right there? Or which are the outgoings of paradise? Watch this. Let me show you the outgoings of paradise. Get Genesis 28:17. There's one of the outgoings that the Bible talks about. One.
The book of Genesis, chapter 28, verse 17. And he was afraid.
Start above it. Watch this. Genesis 28. Let's start at verse 15.
Yes, sir. Genesis chapter 28, verse 15. And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest.
You know what? I don't want to start there. I want to start here at verse 10. Start at verse 10.
Verse 10. And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven.
So in this dream, he saw a ladder, or a staircase, what we would call it, from heaven to earth. Go ahead.
And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham thy father, and the God of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it.
This is the land of Canaan, which later became known as Israel. Go ahead.
And to thy seed.
And to your descendants. Go ahead.
And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth.
We outnumber all nations on the earth. Go ahead.
And thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south.
He was already prophesying Israel would go into captivity before we even became a nation. Go ahead.
And in thee, and in thy seed, shall all the families of the earth be blessed.
The seed he's making reference to is Christ. And in thee, and in thy seed shall all the families, referring to Israel, of the earth be blessed, because we would be scattered worldwide. Go ahead.
And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. And Jacob awaked out of his sleep, and he said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not.
He says, surely the Lord is in this place, and I didn't know it. Now watch the next verse.
And he was afraid, and said, how dreadful is this place? This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven.
And this is the gate of heaven, meaning right there was a portal that took you from the earth to the heaven. So that thing was heaven. Go back to what Esdras had, what the angel said to Esdras in 2 Ezra 4 and 7.
2 Ezra chapter 4, verse 7. And he said unto me, if I should ask thee how great dwellings are in the midst of the sea, or how many springs are in the beginning of the deep, or how many springs are above the firmament.
Here you go.
Or which are the outgoings of paradise.
Or which are the outgoings of paradise. So that was one, that gateway to heaven. And that's what Jacob realized. And that's why it was called, when you read on, he called it Bethel, which means house. Beth means house. El means God. House of God. Okay. From there, let's go to, stay right there and read verse. Did you read 9 yet?
No, sir.
Go ahead.
Start at 8 or jump to 9?
Read 8.
Peradventure, thou wouldest say unto me.
So now the angel says to Esdras, this is what, if I ask you about things in heaven, you'd say this. Go ahead.
I never went down into the deep.
Or the sea. Go ahead.
Nor as yet into hell. Neither did I ever climb up into heaven.
Neither did I ever climb up into heaven. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, now have I asked thee, but only of the fire and wind.
So the angel said, I only asked you about the fire and the wind. Go ahead.
And of the day wherethrough thou hast passed.
And yesterday that you walked, didn't you live through yesterday? Go ahead.
And of the things from which thou canst not be separated. And yet canst thou give me no answer of them?
The angel said, and yet you can give me no answer. He said, okay, if I asked you about heaven, you'd say I've never been up there. If I asked you about the bottom of the sea, you'd say I've never been there. But I asked you about fire to weigh me the weight of that. I asked you about the wind to measure me the blast of wind. And I asked you about yesterday to bring it back again. You can't do none of the things I asked you. And this is why when you hear brothers in the Kemetic community say the black man is God, just ask them these questions. Because when they say God is different, you know, when the Bible says we are gods, all it means is judges on the earth. But when some of these dumb Negroes say it, they're saying that they're the creator. So, okay, what's the weight of the fire? Where's the portals of heaven at? Where are they located? You can't answer none of that. God. Our people are very, very simple. Go to chapter 6 now. Let's read 6 through 10.
2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 6. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended. And
read that again, read that again.
Yes, sir. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other.
So this is the Lord speaking through the angel to Esdras again. He asked him about the end of time. Okay, read that again.
Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other.
Read.
Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time?
What shall be the end of the times? That's the question. Go ahead.
Or
when you read 4 through 6, Esdras got a million questions. Go ahead.
Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
When shall be the end of the first world, and when shall be the beginning of it that followeth? Go ahead.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. This goes back to Genesis 25:25. Go ahead.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
So now the angel explains the meaning behind Jacob taking hold of the heel of Esau. Read that again.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
So that's what it symbolized, okay? The change of worlds. Read.
The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question, Esdras, asked thou not.
Read that again.
The hand of man.
The hand of man, referring to all the other nations outside of Jacob and Esau. Go ahead.
Is betwixt the heel and the hand.
Is between Jacob and Esau. Go ahead.
Other question, Esdras, asked thou not.
Asked thou not. Now, we're going to talk about Esau just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. Give me IT over here. I sent you a book. I gave you 2 pages, 231 and 232. All right. I've shown this book on Shout Out Tuesdays. I've shown it before on the Sabbath classes. Okay. Can you make it larger so we can see it? Let's start up with first. Bring that to the top. Yeah. That way. Yeah, make it larger. Right there. Let's start there.
First, the descendants of Esau, the sworn enemies of the descendants of Jacob, even to the end of the world.
So this is what the scholars figured out after they studied the Bible, that the descendants of Esau, the sworn enemies of the descendants of Jacob, even to the end of the world. This is what we just read in 2 Ezra 6. So as we read on, we're going to find out that what we've been teaching for years, many of their elite scholars know. It's dumb Black and Latino Christians who ain't figured out nothing yet, because in theology school, they're taught not to teach this. World Council of Churches teaches them not to teach this understanding. Read.
We're at first a small nation, inhabiting Mount Seir.
So Esau at first was a small nation inhabiting Mount Seir. Go ahead.
And the adjacent country, contiguous to the land of Canaan, they were easily confined within their own limits, as long as the Israelites enjoyed a great and formidable empire in Canaan.
So they remained small as long as we enjoyed a great and formidable empire. Go ahead.
But that after the powerful republic of the 12 tribes was destroyed by the Assyrians and Babylonians.
Assyria took northern kingdom first, then Babylon took everybody. Go ahead.
They wonderfully increased in numbers and strength.
So when we fell, the Edomites increased in numbers and strength. Go ahead.
Extended their dominion towards the west.
They extended their dominion toward the west.
Spread their colonies far and wide. Subjugated Italy.
So the Edomites controlled Italy.
Founded Rome.
They founded Rome.
And the Roman Empire.
You got Christians that ain't figured out the Roman Empire were Edomites yet. To this day, they don't know that the Roman Empire were Edomites. You got some dumb Israelites say, oh no, that was Japhet. Shut the hell up. You don't know nothing. You do no research. Read.
At length, entirely overturned the Jewish state, which had been restored after the termination of the Babylonian captivity.
Right. Persia overthrew Babylon. Go ahead.
The second temple being destroyed by Titus Vespasian, and that in the present day, professing the religion of Jesus of Nazareth.
Pause right there. And that in the present day, professing the religion of Jesus of Nazareth. That's when they became the Holy Roman Empire, and they started to take some of the understanding of Christ and they let it and created what we got today, the modern day Christianity. That's nothing but paganism. Because remember, you had Constantine. He set forth in this image, therefore go forth and conquer. Sunday was set up as the Sabbath from that time period, from the Council of Nicaea. Further on, then they introduced Caesar Borgia as Christ later on. Read.
Which they were the first of all nations to embrace. They hold the dominion over all Europe.
So now, the scholars said the Edomites hold the dominion over all Europe. So that's when you had the Crusades and all of that. Esau took control of all of Europe. Why? Because we had that at one time. And prior to that, you had Japheth was over Europe. They got kicked out, pushed out. Then we took over. Then Esau came back. Go ahead.
Esau detaining in captivity his brother Jacob.
See that? Esau detaining in captivity his brother Jacob. Let's see who that is.
At least as far as regards the tribe of Judah.
So the scholars know that today Esau has in captivity his brother Jacob. Then they specify the tribe of Judah. That's us. Go ahead.
Till his Messiah, Ben David, shall appear.
Till his Messiah, Ben means son of. Messiah, son of David, shall appear. Who's that? That's Christ. So this is what the scholars have put together. Go ahead.
Secondly, that the prophecies of the prophets against Esau, Edom, Seir, and the cities of Edom.
Next page. Blow it bigger. Go ahead, bring it down. Go ahead.
Especially those of Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Obadiah have not yet received their full accomplishment.
So the scholars say the prophecies that Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Obadiah made concerning Edom have not yet received their full accomplishment. Go ahead.
For that though the house of Esau has experienced some particular judgments of God.
Like World War I, World War II, Vietnam War, go ahead.
On account of the injuries at different periods of time inflicted upon Israel. Yet the final vengeance on account of that last and greatest injury, the destruction of the second temple by Titus, and the transportation of the Jews into captivity, in which they are still most opprobriously detained.
So wait. And the transportation of the Jews into captivity, in which they are still most opprobriously detained. So you're going to tell me they don't know who the Jews are? Oh, they know who the Jews are. We're the only nation still in captivity. Go ahead.
Is yet impending over it, to be executed in the time of the Messiah.
That's when the judgments of Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Obadiah will be fulfilled when Messiah returns. Go ahead.
That this is foretold by the prophets in all their denunciations of the severest plagues against the house of Esau, the cities of Edom, and Mount Seir, which all belong to Rome and the Christians.
Which all belong to Rome and the Christians. Come on, y'all messing me up there. Go ahead.
Lost my place.
Right there.
And that the fate of the Christians at that time will be far more dreadful than that of Mohammedans.
So notice it says the fate of the Christians will be far more dreadful than that of Mohammedans, meaning Muslims. Go ahead.
Abbar Binel particularly says the slaughter of the Turks in the future battle will not be so great as that of the Christians.
So the scholars say the Christians are going to get a worse judgment. These Christians are the so-called white man. Go ahead.
For many of the Turks will escape, according to Isaiah 66:19.
Mm-hmm.
But of the Christians.
But of the Christian whites, he's saying.
Obadiah says.
Raise it up.
There shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau.
Y'all see that? So the scholars know there ain't going to be no more Edomites running around the earth. So what's wrong with our peoples? They can't grasp that understanding? They're black, right? Damn, our people simple as hell. I don't understand. I just don't get it. From there, give me the book of Job, chapter 5. Job chapter 5, and we're going to start at verse 7.
The book of Job, chapter 5, verse 7. Yet man is born unto trouble, as the sparks fly upward.
Mm-hmm.
I would seek unto God, and unto God would I commit my cause.
Mm-hmm. I would seek unto God, and unto God would I commit my cause, meaning my life. Go ahead.
Which doeth great things, and unsearchable, marvelous things without number.
That's what the Lord does. Go ahead.
Who giveth rain upon the earth, and sendeth waters upon the fields, to set up on high those that be low.
So the prophet Job said God's purpose is to set up on high those that be low. That's some heavy stuff right there. Go ahead.
That those which mourn may be exalted to safety.
That those which mourn may be exalted to safety. Give me Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. And we're going to come right back to Job. We ain't finished with that.
Yes, sir. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man.
This is going into being exalted to safety. Go ahead.
Stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
We are standing in great boldness against such that have afflicted us. Go ahead.
And made no account of his labors.
And they made no account of our labors in this earth. Go ahead.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
When they see our deliverance, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. Come on.
And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
You see that? They shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, meaning our salvation. What verse was that?
It's almost the end of verse 2.
Go ahead.
So far beyond all that they looked for.
Our salvation is going to be so far beyond anything they even could conceive of. That's why now that Congress is talking about UFOs. What do they call them now? It's another name. Something with a P. UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. What is that about? Many of the scholars know what it's about. Is black and Latino people that don't know what it is. They're looking at Hollywood movies. Oh, it's going to be aliens, green aliens with big eyes. No, read that last part again.
When they see it, They shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Now somebody right now going, well, that's in the Apocrypha. That ain't in the regular Bible. Shut the hell up. Give me that in Habakkuk chapter 3 and 13. Let's start there. I tell you, Christian, if you're going to be a pagan Christian, have some intelligence. And they better be careful when they step to the Israelites. They will get embarrassed. Because there's scriptures, we just hold it in our back pocket. Because they study our videos, say, oh, they're going to go here, they're going to go here. You don't know, where's the camera? You don't know where we're going to go. Right, exactly. Come on, read that, Habakkuk 3:13.
Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 13. Thou wentest forth for the salvation of thy people.
Christ is coming for the salvation of his people. That's why they say don't read the Old Testament. Don't read it. Stay out of it. Why? Because it's crystal clear. I always tell you that New Testament is an abbreviation of the Old Testament because the Old Testament gives much more detail. That's it. Don't read the Old Testament. It's done away with. No, you're done away with. Read that again.
Thou wentest forth for the salvation of thy people, even for the salvation with thine anointed.
That's Christ. Christ is the anointed. Go ahead.
Thou woundest the head of the house. The head out of the house.
Come on, you messing me up. Read it again.
Thou woundest the head of the house. Excuse me. Thou woundest the head out of the house of the wicked.
The head is Esau. He's the head nation. Go ahead.
By discovering the foundation unto the neck.
Like when you cut somebody's neck and the whole head comes off. Go ahead.
Thou didst strike through with his staves the head of his villages. They came out.
Their villages is going into their cities, their states. Go ahead.
They came out as a whirlwind to scatter me.
So the nations are going to send their armies out like a whirlwind to try to destroy Christ. That's what it means to scatter him. Go ahead.
Their rejoicing was as to devour the poor secretly.
So Christ is letting us know their desire was to destroy the Israelites secretly. Secretly. They're not going to say, hey, we hate you, dumb black people and Latinos. They're going to go, no, we love you. Let us give you religion to destroy them mentally. Let us give you food for health, to give them the worst food so that their health is not as good as ours. That's what they do. Let's give them, we're going to give you education. Give them bad history. Christopher Columbus discovered America. Don't tell them their history, though. All this, that's to devour us secretly, and we ain't figured that out yet. Come on.
Thou didst walk through the sea with thine horses.
Thou didst walk through the sea with thy horses, meaning chariot. The sea is referring to nations. Hold that, let me prove that. Give me that in Revelation 17, and we're coming right back there. Revelation 17, I think it's the last verse. Just to explain the sea.
It's not the last verse.
Revelation 17, the last verse.
Revelation 17, verse 18. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
Read above it. I'm not looking at it. 15, thank you.
15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Right, that's it right there. That's it. Now go back. Go on back.
Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 15. Thou didst walk through the sea with thine horses.
Right, with his chariots. He's going to walk through the nations, crushing them. Go ahead.
Through the heap of great waters. When I heard, my belly trembled.
Habakkuk said when he heard what's going to happen, his belly trembled. That's about fear. Go ahead.
My lips quivered at the voice.
He said my lips quivered at the sound of his voice. Go ahead.
Rottenness entered into my bones.
Rottenness entered into my bones. That's how scared he was. Go ahead.
And I trembled in myself.
He said I trembled in myself.
That I might rest in the day of trouble.
He said when that happens, I want to be dead. He said I want to rest in the day of what?
Of trouble.
Of trouble. Jacob's trouble. Go ahead.
When he cometh up unto the people.
Watch this.
He will invade them with his troops.
See that? Christ will invade the nations with his troops. This white man knows what the chariots is all about, what they call UAPs, UFOs. That's why they got Hollywood working with the CIA. We want you to do movies saying they're aliens and they hate all of us so that we all can come together. Propaganda. It's only dumb blacks and Latinos who ain't figured it out yet. It's for our salvation. What are you going to say? Somebody's going to say something over here? It's for our salvation. But we ain't. Read 13 again.
13. Thou wentest forth for the salvation of thy people.
That's the purpose of what they call UFOs. Oh, they got big eyes. They're going to eat your brains. And then you got Edomites. Oh, they put a plug up my behind. Ain't no daggone angel put no plug up your behind, you nasty pervert. They always do that to make us go, oh, that's nasty. They're evil. They're wicked. That's not true. Then what's the Area 51 where they said that the alien crashed and they got aliens in a prison somewhere? Come on, stop it. It's ridiculous, totally ridiculous. The scriptures say that God's chariots are spirit and not flesh. Hey, you know what that is in Isaiah? Is it 30? 31 and 3, thank you. You ain't catch nothing. Don't let me get off topic. Now I'm already going off topic now. I'm going to the chariots. Isaiah 31 and 3.
Isaiah chapter 31, verse 3. Now the Egyptians are men.
Now you might say, why did it say Egyptians? Well, Isaiah was prophesying about ancient Egypt, not ancient, but during his time, but it's also symbolic of a future tense. Remember in Revelation 11, where it said, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. So that's letting you know that many of the times when you read about Sodom, it's talking about America, Babylon the Great. When you read about Egypt, it's talking about Babylon the Great, America. When you read about Jerusalem, it's talking about Babylon the Great. We went over a class on that a couple of weeks back. So read this again.
Now the Egyptians are men and not God.
Yeah, the white man is a man and not God. Go ahead.
And their horses flesh and not spirit.
Their horses, meaning their chariots, are flesh, meaning made from the earth. That's what iron and steel and all that is. It says, and not spirit. You see that? Why does it say not spirit? Because God's chariots are spirit. The white man's chariots are flesh, meaning made from the earth. Steel, iron, bauxite, things like that. That's nothing. So my point was, nothing crashed, and they got it held in Area 51. That's garbage. Go ahead.
When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall.
Egypt that tries to help Israel shall fall. Go ahead.
And he that is hoping shall fall down.
And see that, and the Israelites that helped by Egypt shall fall down. Go ahead.
And they all shall fail together.
And they all shall fail together. So that you got many of our people that want to assimilate with ancient Egypt during the time of Isaiah. And today, some of our people want to assimilate with modern Egypt, which is Babylon the Great. They're all going to fall together. The white man's judgment is going to be the black man's judgment. It's the same judgment they're going to get, that lake of fire. So now, because I went off topic, go back to Job chapter 5. Get back on topic again.
We last ended off at verse 12. We're going to start there.
Okay. No, read 11 again.
Read again. Yes, sir.
Book of Job, chapter 5, verse 11. To set up on high those that be low.
So God is going to set us up on high. Why? Because we're the ones that's made low right now. Go ahead.
That those which mourn may be exalted to safety.
We're the ones that mourn. We shall be exalted to safety. That's our deliverance. Go ahead.
He disappointeth the devices of the crafty.
See that part right there? He disappointeth the devices of the crafty. The white man is the crafty ones. Go ahead.
So that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
So that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. What does that mean? What does that mean? This verse is going into what they call the New World Order. Okay, and the New World Order has had various stages of implementation. Various stages of implementation. So now, give me the picture of the dollar bill. And put it up on the screen. Right there. Blow it up. No, you can leave it right there. You can leave it right there. So y'all see the bottom of the pyramid, right? You see the all-seeing eye of Horus or Ra, one of the Egyptian gods. I forgot it a second. Then that's why this place is spiritually called Egypt. At the bottom, at the base of the pyramid, is in Roman numerals, is 1776. That's when they say the founding of America was done. Under it, it says novus, which means new, ordo means order, and seclora means secular or world. New world order, new order of the world. Okay, now on the very top, It says annuit coeptus. See the very top of the pyramid. It says annuit coeptus, which means enterprise, our enterprise success, or God has favored our undertakings. Let me show you that. Give me the next one. I sent one with the Great Seal. It should say Great Seal, where it discusses annuit coeptus. Yeah, right there. Make it large. Okay. Read that.
The motto annuit coeptus was suggested by Charles Thompson in June 1782.
Where are you reading from? I'm looking at original source of annuit coeptus.
Original source of annuit coeptus. Motto above the eye of providence
Right,
on
that's
the
what
great
they call
seal.
that Egyptian eye, the eye of providence. Mhm.
The motto annuit coeptus was suggested by Charles Thompson in June 1782. He adapted it from Virgil, the renowned Roman writer's evocative instruction manual for farmers, the Georgics, written in the 1st century BC.
I know you can't read it. Let's raise it up.
I'm black.
Okay, raise it. I'm gonna get to some easy stuff. Raise it up. Raise
Thank
it
you.
up. Raise it up. Raise it up. Raise it up. Raise it up. Right there. An accurate translation. Let's just get that.
An accurate translation of annuit coeptus is providence has favored our undertaking.
Now let's look. Now I sent you the meaning of the word undertakings. You see it? It should be in red, orange. Right there. Isn't that it? Is that it? Okay, y'all see undertakings? Y'all see the word enterprise. So that's one of the synonyms, okay? So God has favored their undertakings or their enterprise is a success. That's what it's going into. So let's go back to Job chapter 5 and verse 12 again.
The book of Job, chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the craft.
So now, what I want you to realize, remember what we read in Habakkuk 3 and 14, where it said, I think it was 14, the part that said there, I'm misquoting it, it said they wanted to devour us secretly.